Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, yes, we're about to begin. We do ask that all our invited guests please remain seated while we wait for the procession. Right, can they play the Okay. All right, everybody, please let's remain seated while we have the procession. Thank you. To play this song. Thank you very much. Welcome. You can have your seat, please. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, faculty members, and most importantly, our extraordinary nursing graduates. Welcome to this momentum occasion, the third nursing graduation year at All Saints University. Today, we gather here to celebrate the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and unwavering commitment to the noble profession of nursing. And just before we proceed, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our Dean of Academic Affairs, Professor Dr. Stanley White. Please give a round of applause. Thank you. We have our featured guest speaker here, Mrs. Fiona Glenville. We have with us here today the Minister of State in the Ministry of Health, Minister Cassandra Williams. We also have with us our Administrative Registrar, Pastor David Abiodun. I would also like to recognize the presence of our distinguished faculty members of Nursing Department and the Medical Department at All Saints University. Also present here with us today is the Principal Nursing Officer, Mrs. Anthea Lewis. The Director of the General Nursing Council, Ms. Shirley Augustine. Representing Dr. Ruby Blank, Dr. Carl Monroe. From the Dominico China Friendship Hospital, representing the CEO Matron, Ms. Deborah Phillips. We also have here with us the Senior Community Nurse, Ms. Magdalene Poppin Alexander. We'd like to welcome our parents, our friends, members of the IT, the ushers. Thank you very much for gracing this beautiful occasion with us. We'd also like to recognize the presence of the pioneer, founder, and visionary of this great institution, Dr. Joshua Yusuf, who will be joining us from Toronto, Canada. And we'd also like to represent the other members of Canada office joining us here today. All right. So at this time, I want us all to rise up, and I invite Ms. Malika Warrington to take the Dominican National Anthem. Thank you.
I love beauty, I love splendor, I'll to all so sweet and fair. All must surely gaze in wonder at thy gifts so rich and rare. Rivers, valleys, hills and mountains, all these gifts we do extol. Healthy like so like fountain, giving cheer that warms the soul.
Thank you very much. We may take our seats now. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's my honor and privilege to invite on stage a truly remarkable individual for the welcome address. He's a leader per excellence with a dedication to medical education, healthcare research, and leadership. He has won several awards, grants, and he has done several publications. Please join me to welcome on stage our Dean of Academic Affairs, Professor Stanley White. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Monday. I'd also like to acknowledge you setting precedent so I don't have to welcome everybody once again. But really, I'd just like to welcome everyone. Everyone in the hall, everyone that's joining us online, but particularly welcome the real feature of today, which is our graduands sitting in these several rows in front of us. I'd like to give them all a round of applause at this point. Now, I have to correct Dr. Monday. I think that she referred to you as graduates. Now, that is not strictly speaking correct. You're not a graduate until you've graduated. And that's why you're sitting in these seats in this ceremony. You are currently graduands. And this is a special day for you because it marks the transition from the formal educational phase of your training to becoming a professional in training. Now, in order to graduate today, there are actually 3 tasks which you have, each of you. The first is, upon hearing your name called, you'll proceed to the stage, receive your certificate, and the downside of the afternoon is you'll have to pose for a photograph with me, which I apologize. Following the receipt of your certificate, you will receive a pin. Now, pinning itself has very special significance for the nursing profession, because pinning marks the transition from being a student to a professional. Now, many nursing schools have a separate pinning ceremony that occurs after the graduation ceremony. But of course, All Saints University, always with an eye to economy of scale and economy of funds, we combine both of those functions in today's special ceremony. Now, the third task, after you've received your pin, is that you'll be asked to transfer your tassel. As a graduand, your tassel should now be hanging to the right of your mortarboard. If it isn't, your degree is null and void. But upon that command, you will move your tassel from the right to the left of your mortarboard, and at that moment, you become a graduate of All Saints University. Now, that moment is very, very special. It deserves celebration and excitement, and I'm sure you will do that accordingly. But I'm sure all of you sitting there now are thinking, well, this is me, I'm going to get my reward. But of course, you haven't been alone in your journey to this point. You've had a number of people supporting you in your journey, from the faculty, and I'd like the faculty to stand up. All Saints faculty, nursing and basic science, please stand up. And these are people that have taught you. They have labored tirelessly to try to facilitate your success. So indeed, I'm pleased somebody started to make the round of applause, but they certainly do deserve a round of applause. The other group is your colleagues, your friends outside the school, and of course your family. Without their support, you wouldn't be here today. So I think you all should give everybody a big round of applause for the support that they've given to you. So, as I say, it's a special day. Remember it, celebrate it. In Latin, they would say carpe diem, seize the day. Remember it for the rest of your career and the rest of your lives, and enjoy the occasion. So thank you very much for your attention, and without further ado, I would like to ask Dr. Yusuf, President of All Saints University, to deliver his address.
Hello, I'm Dr. Yuzindin South, Registrar of Gizindan Sel, Registrar of All Saints University School of Medicine, Dominica. I would like to welcome our colleagues, administrators, families, friends, and most of all, a very sincere and warm welcome to our nursing graduates. You should be very proud of how far you have come and have faith in how far you will go in future. Now, I'd like to invite the president of the university, Dr. Joshua Yusuf, to the podium.
Your Excellency, the President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, the Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, Honorable Minister of Education, Honorable Minister of Health, Wellness and Social Services, ably represented by Minister of State, Honorable Dr. Cassandra Williams, the Permanent Secretaries, Ministry of Education and Ministry of Health, the Chief Medical Officer, Dominica-China Friendship Hospital, DCFH Medical Director, the President, General Nursing Council for Dominica, Mrs. Shirley Augustine, our featured speaker, the Matron, DCFH, Acting Executive Dean, All Saints University, School of Medicine, Dominica, Dean of Academic Affairs, the Registrar, Administration, the Registrar Academic, Founding and Acting Director of Nursing Program, All Saints University, Dominica, faculty, staff, and students of this university in attendance at this epoch-making event in person and online, the Government Information Service, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to this moment of celebration of achievement of students who have completed their nursing degree program and are to receive their BSc in nursing degree certificate from this great university today. I know that many of us will have a mixed feeling today, one of joy and the other of the reality that these graduates of our university who have spent years here on this beautiful island will be leaving the country, our university, their friends and teachers in Dominica, to practice their nursing skills outside the four walls of the university and in many cases outside Dominica. We should look at it joyfully in that they have accomplished the reason why they came to our school of Dominica in the first instance. They now belong to a special class of human beings, privileged to examine the human body in a professional setting, to offer opinions, counsel, and services geared toward improving the quality of life of fellow human beings. It is indeed a privilege and an enviable status they have labored for these past 3 years and have now achieved their goal through hard work, perseverance, and focus. While this achievement is laudable, I must proceed to congratulate, encourage, and admonish our celebrants of this day in a moment. To our nursing degree graduates of this day, we are rejoicing with you and your family on your meritorious achievement of the successful completion of the Bachelor of Nursing in degree program at All Saints University. Many run the race, but only one wins the prize. You have run and won the race and should be proud of your achievement, just as we all are at All Saints University. Victory is sweet, but it never comes on a platter of gold. Behind your success story is countless number of hours of studying both the normal and abnormal functioning of the various organs and systems of the human body, and how to correct anomalies and bring succor to the sick and the distressed. Traversing the length and breadth of Dominica, garnering experience and acquiring clinical skills at various clinical or healthcare centers, countless number of examinations, quizzes, and seminar presentations, in particular during the peak of COVID-19 pandemic. All of this is not for a faint of heart. But as stated earlier, you overcame it all. You must take pride in what you have achieved and go in this strength and provide service to your community. Channel all your energy and intellectual endowment to honor the hypocritical oath to which you will swear. You are the ambassadors of this institution, and wherever you render your service, let your light so shine to demonstrate that indeed you are an All Saints nurse. Do not let the allure of the get-rich-quick syndrome compromise the quality of your service to the society. Do not forget to continue to study. Your best is yet to be achieved, and your greater days of glory lie ahead. You must remain steadfast, focused, goal-oriented, and determined to do all within your ability, intellect, and professional core to strengthen the team of healthcare providers you will be working with to ensure that no life is lost on your watch and no injury or pain festers. I must caution that now is not the time to go to rest. The world is waiting on you. Countless opportunities abound. Hospitals in Canada, the United States, and many other countries are currently short-staffed and continue to employ people with skills and knowledge like yours. You must still pass the regional examination for nurse registration examination and go for higher level courses or training. You will earn money, prestige, and be comfortable. But what should give you joy most is your demonstrated passion for the profession and position of privilege to help those who are in pain, those who are hurting, and those who feel disconnected to have hope, cared for, and feel loved. As you journey from this beautiful island to the countries in the region and other places, remember that it all began from here, Dominica. Dominica must remain in your good book. It has offered a serene environment to help you realize your goal. It has provided you a safe environment, good and organic foods to nourish you and your well-being, as well as friendly neighbors. This must remain etched in your memory and be remembered and recommended for the education of your friends and acquaintances as a must-visit tourist island. Continue to offer guidance to those coming behind you in this profession and be ready to learn at all times from the more experienced colleagues as well. Stay strong and unmovable in the face of life challenges you might be confronted with as you journey from here. Look at each challenge as another form of anatomy examination you passed before coming here. Look at each challenge as a way to test and confirm your grit and what you are made of that have made it possible for you to be celebrated today. Be assured and confident that you can continue to overcome these life challenges and move higher in the ladder of success. I wish you the very best for the future. To our nursing students, thank you for coming here today to celebrate with your senior and graduating colleagues. This must be an occasion to reflect on how much you have completed so far in the program and how many more days or semesters remaining for you to be celebrated by your university as well. Continue to press forward and remain resolute to reach for the star. There lies ahead rewards and sense of fulfillment that can only be achieved with a degree in nursing, with excellent clinical skills and knowledge you have been equipped with by All Saints University. Do not let any misconduct soil your white apparel or hospital uniform. Do not be pressured to call it quit in the face of challenges, which you must overcome to reach the milestone that today's graduates have reached. Continue to be diligent with your study. Take and pass all required internal and external or licensing examinations, and watch our lines will continue to fall in pleasant places for you. I wish you all continued success and stay in Dominica. Our faculty, staff, and collaborators. Today's event is a product of teamwork, diligence, and productive efforts of our faculty and staff, the General Nursing Council for Dominica, and our collaborators at DCFH and other healthcare facilities in the country. You all have enabled All Saints University to continue to keep to its central mission to educate and produce compassionate, competent, and socially responsible healthcare professionals who are capable of providing the best care possible to the global community and are able to assume leadership positions in their field of specialty. Please accept our gratitude for your invaluable contributions. To our good people of Dominica, thank you for giving us opportunity to establish this school and to thrive in this country. Thank you for accepting us into your lives. Thank you for your support. I must state that it has been a rewarding partnership between All Saints University and the people of Dominica, made possible by our indefatigable Prime Minister, Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, and his government. When the government gave us permission to establish the school, the pundits gave us little benefit of doubt to last for 3 years. It is now 17 years plus and counting. We thank the Honorable Prime Minister for his instinct and for not discountenancing our days of little beginning with 28 new students in 2006. A journey of 1,000 kilometers certainly begins with the first and one step. In the face of challenges, competition, and natural disasters, All Saints University has blossomed. The highlights of the school's achievements in less than 2 decades of its operations here in Dominica are: All Saints University scholarships have been awarded to over 100 Dominicans this past 17 years. All Saints University has produced more doctors for the country and practicing in the country more than any university that has existed in Dominica this past 40 years. Precisely, All Saints University has produced 23 physicians and 40 nurses of Dominican origin. At least 15 of these graduates are currently practicing physicians in the country, while others are now consultants or specialists in the region and in the United States. In the same vein, tens of nursing degree programs of this university have passed the regional examination and are currently practicing in Dominica. Thus, anywhere you turn, north, south, east, or west, you will certainly come across Dominican nationals who are graduates of All Saints University, all of who benefited from scholarship awards from this university. Contribution to the economy. There are at least 300 students and staff of the university contributing on a daily and monthly basis to the economy of Roseau and Dominica at large through apartment rentals, grocery shopping, stamp duties, amongst others. Over 2,500 former students of the university, many of who are currently practicing as physicians in the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, Nigeria, India, Ireland, Austria, South Africa, Jamaica, Bangladesh, to name a few, had also contributed their own quota to the economy of the country during their 2-year stay in Dominica. There is a common adage which says that a friend in need is a friend indeed, meaning that you cannot know your true friend until you are confronted with life challenges or faced with adversity. During its first 11 years of operations in Dominica, All Saints University, together with the people of Dominica, experienced the devastating effect of Hurricane Maria and Erika storm and temporary relocation of many people and businesses outside Dominica. Like numerous good citizens, All Saints University returned to Dominica, repaired its facilities, and continues to offer world-class and internationally accredited medical programs in Dominica. All these achievements would not have been possible without the support of the government of Dominica. At this juncture, and like Oliver Twist, our university is asking for more support from the government of Dominica and all and sundry to enable the school to continue to make its mark. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time and for your vote of confidence in All Saints University. As we continue with this event, I honestly believe that we will continue to enjoy the rest of the evening and will be encouraged to do more for All Saints University, your university. Thank you.
And now I would like to invite our Acting Executive Dean and Dean of Clinical Affairs, Dr. Wissam Al-Hafid.
Ladies and gentlemen, families and friends, dear graduates, a very pleasant day to you all, and welcome to the graduation ceremony of All Saints University Nursing School class of 2023. Congratulations to the families of those graduating. You should know that your support through this process made a massive impact. I am sure you're very proud of your graduates as they close this phase of their lives and prepare their next steps into the noblest career. Congratulations to all of you. Today, you put on your crisp, clean uniform for the first time as a symbolic beginning of your journey as nurses. You have good reason to feel proud. You all have worked so very hard to get here. This is, without a doubt, a great moment that we should mark as forcefully as we can, because you are about to begin a lifelong career that must be built on a foundation of capability and confidence. For me, this ceremony is one of the highlights of the entire academic year, because it offers all of us the chance to pause and reflect on the meaning of this fantastic journey you are about to embark on. And I would like to take this opportunity to spend the next few minutes examining with you some of the emerging challenges and what I think would require of you. In this journey, extraordinary effort is needed all the way. In the coming few years, you will all experience the highs and lows of life, the difficult and the easy. You will have times when you are so physically and emotionally burnt out that you have nothing left to give, and you simply cannot be kind, not even to yourself. On the other hand, there will be times that you feel you're on the top of the world. Your success will be defined by how you handle these times. Nursing is not glamorous. Your patients are not like those you see in movies. You are going to deal with real sick people, people who suffer. You are to them the hero who will relieve the suffering. To do so, you may need to engage in not so appealing tasks, and you might even get abused by your patients or their families. Being a good nurse is more than an academic excellence. It is practicing responsibility and commitment and giving generously. Trust your knowledge, skills, and your analytical ability. But more importantly, trust your morals, your ethics, and your instincts. You need to believe that you can make a difference and believe that you can achieve success. But arrogance and overconfidence are your playground hazards. Becoming a nurse is tough, but the rewards are well worth it. There is no feeling that compares with the joy when a patient walks up to you and tells you that he owes his life to you. Medicine is a team sport. The physician doesn't save lives. The team does. So treat each other with respect now, and you will treat your patients the same way. Now I know you're eager to start, so celebrate your achievements and enjoy your accomplishments. You have put yourself into a very good spot in life. Once again, congratulations and best of luck.
And now from the Registrar's Office, our Associate Registrar of Records and Systems, Ms. Preetam Shahukar.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to speak today in nursing students' graduation ceremony. Congratulations to all the graduates and your families who are celebrating with you today. You all worked hard during your academic journey at All Saints University to achieve success. Today onwards, you all will be recognized as nursing graduates of All Saints University, and which is the beginning of new chapter of your life. Once again, congratulations and best of luck for future.
And now I invite our Assistant Registrar, Ms. Atife Kalati.
Greetings, nursing graduates. I would like to extend my congratulations to each and every one of you on your graduation day. You worked so hard to get here, and we're proud of you for that. In your next chapter of life, you're gonna start a very rewarding profession and make a difference in the life of countless people. So hold on to your passion and don't forget that the impact you'll have on the people's lives is immeasurable, because as Maya Angelou once said, they may forget your name, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So I wish you all the very best as you begin this experience.
I want to say a very big thank you to our head office, the president, Dr. Joshua Yusuf, and Dr. Wizam Alfede, the Dean of Clinical Affairs, the Associate Registrar, Preetam Shahukar, Atifa, the Assistant Registrar, and the Registrar Academic, Dr. Gonzin Dinzel. Thank you very much for your time. All right, so at this time, I would also be welcoming on stage a very wonderful individual who has pushed through many barriers to be where she is today. Now, we have with us Mrs. Fiona Harris Glenville. But before I welcome her on stage, I would just like to whet your appetite so that you are expectant. Ms. Glenville's professional and academic journey began 13 years ago after she graduated in 2009 with an associate degree in nursing. And she became a registered nurse assigned to the former Princess Margaret Hospital, which is now the Dominico China Friendship Hospital, the pediatric unit. And she was later assigned to the male medical unit, and it was there she had an interest in public health. She was deeply saddened by the negative patient outcomes which she witnessed while caring for patients, and she vowed to make a difference. She recognized the gap existed between primary, community-based, and secondary care, and she positioned herself to make a difference. In the year 2012, she completed a Bachelor of Science in Nursing from the University of West Indies, Mona, Jamaica. But her quest for more drove her to pursue a Master of Public Health in 2015, with an emphasis on health promotion and health education. From the year 2017, she was assigned to the Roseau Health District to perform duties as a district nurse, which involved health education, provision of preventive services, just to name a few. She's developed programs within the community, including an educational program with the Dominico Grammar School to support the HFLE program. And she provides sexual and reproductive health education to students in the first year of high school. During that time, she also functioned as the National Data Coordinator with responsibility for global status reports on prevention of violence against children. She has also completed a certificate in project management in 2020, which has afforded her the opportunity to develop proficiency in exploration of grant financing, networking, and collaborative skills. Also in 2020, she was assigned health educator within the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and she was tasked with developing for health promotion activities for 3 health districts on the island, along with developing and implementing interventions in collaboration with governmental and non-governmental groups. One of her achievements was supporting development and implementation of the National COVID-19 Vaccination Implementation Plan. She is now attached to the National HIV/AIDS Unit as the health educator. Ms. Glenville's passion for service and a strong leadership attribute is a testimony to the numerous assignments and roles that she executes. She is an adjunct professor here with us at All Saints University in the nursing department, where she instructs in community health and health promotion. She is a trainer for disaster shelter management. She is also part of the Dominican Nurses Association, representing on country coordinating mechanism for HIV, with emphasis on HIV programs related to maternal and child health. She's an executive member of the Sickle Cell Cares Foundation, where she engages in creating an awareness about sickle cell disease in Dominica and provides support to individuals affected by sickle cell. Our current goal is to implement neonatal testing for sickle cell disease and influence policies that enhance the care and management of individuals with sickle cell disease in Dominica. Ms. Glenville has completed a 4-month internship with PAO in 2021, where she was afforded the opportunity to work along 2 mentors in the Human Resources for Health and Climate Change and Health Department. She has gained competencies in leadership, analytical thinking, research, communication skills, assessment of health services, and data analysis. She has contributed to publications regarding human resources for health in the Caribbean and in the climate change, migration, and health in the Caribbean region. Ms. Glenville still has quest for knowledge, and she's passionate, and she's currently a doctoral student of the University of West Indies, pursuing a doctorate in public health. She just keeps going, yes. So please, ladies and gentlemen, it is my esteemed pleasure to welcome on stage our featured speaker to the podium, Mrs. Fiona Harris Glenville.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much. I don't know who she was talking about, but it seems it's me. I will observe the protocol that has already been established and say a pleasant good afternoon to everyone, and thank you for choosing me to be your featured speaker. It is with deep pride and humility that I stand here today, and I say congratulations to all of you graduates here. And it is such a proud moment because many of you I have had the pleasure of sharing my passion and love for public health with. And I'm hoping that at least that little seed, one of you catches it, so that you can also have that passion for public health. I celebrate your achievement today and tell you well done. You have crossed an important milestone, a milestone that you should celebrate because you are now part of an elite group of nurses, Saint Nurses. That name was dubbed by Mrs. Edwards. But take a moment to breathe, relax, rejuvenate, and revitalize because there's a journey up ahead, and it has only just begun. Today, we reflect on the theme, Life is a journey and not a destination, emphasizing that your journey is a series of opportunities for continuous personal and professional growth. This is one leg of your journey, and it has opened a world of opportunities that are well within your grasp. I can share some insights from my story to help you along that journey. Let me start off with a very important piece of advice for everyone, not just the graduates, but everyone here today. This is your story. This is your life. You are the author. Make it an original story. Our lives tell different stories of different circumstances that help to create a unique individual with a unique perspective. We are not defined by the circumstances that we face, but by the lessons that we choose to learn and the paths that we choose to take as a result of our circumstances. You are in charge of your destiny, and you determine which direction your life takes. My achievements today are not because I have been dealt the best hand of cards, and it is not because life is easy. We know our streets are not paved with gold, and many times we need to take muddy paths to get to where we need to. Many of you are here, testament of the sweat and tears that mark the road that you have traveled. And like me, you have made sacrifices. You have worked hard, and with prayer and determination, you have made it thus far. Press on. Step forward and make your own mark on this world. You are now on the cusp of a new era in your career, and before you is a blank canvas. Write your own story and make it unique. I wish to borrow a phrase from my supervisor, Pierre Louis. Seek to bloom wherever you are planted. You must endeavor to be the best that you can be and give the best version of yourself. The very definition of nursing denotes a life of service to others, a life of caring, a life of giving more of yourself than you expect in return. This is what you signed up for. This is your purpose. Embrace it, love it, and amidst all the challenges that it brings, seek to be the best version of yourself, personally and professionally, to develop a story that leaves a legacy behind for others to follow. Along your journey, you need to seek to find mentors who guide you through. For me, I remember my mother. She's the one who drove me towards a career in nursing. To be honest, I never thought I would be a nurse. I wanted to be a doctor, a pediatrician. But my mother drove me towards a career of nursing. And she taught me of the importance of integrity and keeping true to what I believe in. I remember Nurse Alison Samuel, who has taught me to lead with professionalism and to be tactful and diplomatic. Many times we are too quick to answer, and I had to learn that from Nurse Samuel. I also remember Piano Terry Ravalier most recently, who taught me her favorite word, transparency. And I want to teach you that word today. Transparency. Be transparent with everything that you do, because your personal values are important. Along your way, you will meet nurses who have those qualities that you want to emulate. And as you continue to learn and grow as a nurse, I implore you, identify those characteristics that you know will help elevate you to the best self that you can be, and let this help you to shape your story. However, be mindful of plagiarism. This is one word that we learn throughout school. Be mindful of plagiarism. Be mindful of losing yourself in somebody else's life, using the thoughts and opinions of others to make decisions about what direction your life should take, about how you should think and act as a nurse, what type of nurse you should be. I was transferred to the male medical ward in 2013, and I spent a lot of time on the ward just chatting with the patients. And I felt that this was an opportunity for me to get to know the patients and bond with them. And I remember one of my friends said to me, stay the whole night making them talk in your head, and they will come and help you do the whole patchy work you remain to do. You know how the medical wards can be. Very overwhelming, and sadly, our working conditions are generally not ideal. But for me, that was therapy. It was therapeutic for both me and my patients, and it was an important part of making them feel loved and appreciated. So guess what? No matter how hard the work was, I stayed on the ward and I chatted. I took the time to develop a relationship with my patients. I felt the deep hurt of losing them, and this is one of the reasons why I was driven into public health. But today, I am thankful that there are those who still remember me and would walk up to me and say, "Thank you, nurse, for what you did for me." That for me is it's more valuable than any wealth that I can gain from the nursing profession. Today, I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to be different, to stand against the status quo and be a nurse that you can be proud of and that others can hold in high esteem. Your experience is unique, but it is shaped by your perception. Philip C. McGraw wrote that there is no reality, only perception. It is how we see the world. That's our reality. Your outlook on life is what shapes what you see. And what you see is your reality. When we focus on all the negativity around us, it shapes our views and it shapes our reality. And if we focus on the thorns, we will never appreciate the beauty of the roses. I put to you to focus on the positive things and appreciate the beautiful experience that you will gain along the road that you are now walking. I want to bring to you one thing, that you should be mindful of they. You will ask, who is they? I'll tell you. I hope you have never met they, and I pray that you never will. They is responsible for all the problems that we face as nurses. They block our progress. They make us angry. They make us disgruntled. They cause us to do this. They cause us to do that. Guess what? They has no name. They has no face. They is our justification for our complacency and our inaction towards our goals. Avoid getting caught up with the complaints about they, them, and he who shall not be named, because despite the situation, you can make a difference. You can make a difference in your lives and in the lives of others. You can change the way that people view nurses and display a professional character that is worthy of the profession that we serve and speaks of the quality of the mentorship that you received as a saint nurse in Dominica. They can never be big enough to block your way towards your progress, towards your goals and aspirations. And as I said to one of my supervisors, we can talk about why in chambers, a normal human reaction when faced with an obstacle is to identify that it is a problem and to seek ways to solve that problem. We may go over the obstacle, under the obstacle, around it, through it, or eliminate it, despite all the challenges that you face. Keep pressing towards your dreams and always maintain your professional integrity. Never give up because of they. Never allow they to block you towards your destiny. You will notice that there are many crossroads and detours along your journey. Do not be resentful when you are directed onto another path. As you heard, I started off on the pediatric ward in 2010, and I absolutely loved it. I was actually considering a career in pediatrics. But suddenly, I was yanked from the pediatric ward and assigned to the male medical ward. And nobody asked me what I wanted. Nobody asked if I wanted to be there. I was angry. And Sister Bruni met me in the corridor one day, and she said, "Nursie, you need to have other experiences, and I think you learned enough on the pediatric ward." And I was like, really? She needed to have one nurse transferred from the male medical ward for medical reasons. And she insisted that Nurse Glenville is the one that has to replace her on the male medical ward. I was not happy about that. I had no interest in adult nursing because at the time, my love was for pediatric nursing and I was comfortable. But today, guess what? I say thank you to Nurse Bruni. Because of that detour, I was pushed towards a career in public health that is fulfilling and gratifying and showed me that opportunities lies before us that are endless. And sometimes those detours are what pushes us towards our destiny. Embrace those detours. Finally, your experience is unique, but you are not alone. If you look around you, you will see that there are others who are on your road too. There are those who are cheering for you. Your parents, your teachers, your peers, your pastors, your patients. There is someone in your corner who is cheering for you and who is happy for your achievement. And even if that voice is small amidst the noise, focus on it and embrace it. Even if that voice has to come from within, use it to motivate yourself to continue moving forward and never give up. I wish to remind you that you are a leader and people are watching. I will tell you a story as I end. When I completed my master's degree, I was assigned to the Roseau Health Center. And it was my first experience working in the community setting. So I felt I'd learned the master's in public health, it's okay. I can stay a little while in the health center. But after a year of checking blood pressures and checking blood sugars, I was fed up. And I decided that I am not seeing one more person with a high blood pressure anymore. I'm not checking one more blood sugar. That's it. I'm finished with that. So my aim was to complete that day and go at my home and send in my resignation and sit at my home because perhaps something else would come along. That frustration, that day, I walked into the health center. I passed patient barely saying good morning because my aim was to just finish and go. And organized the clinic, sat at my desk. And I said, next. Nobody came. Next. Nobody got up. So I got up, stepped out into the waiting area to see who is holding up the line because I'm irritated. I'm ready to start to finish. And as I stepped out, a patient said, nurse, we're not praying today, man. We're not yet praying, huh? Guess what? The way I started my clinic was with prayer and a teaching. And the patients had started to demand it. They expected that when they come to clinic, that they would pray and have a teaching. So guess what? I had to do it. Suck it up, and I did it. And I went back to sit in my office waiting for the next person. And in comes my first patient. And he sat there, and he looked at me, and he said, nurse, before you start, I need to tell you something. He said, nurse, you know I love you. You are like a sister to me. You are like my daughter, and I love you. I never liked coming to this place, but because you are there, I'm enjoying coming to clinic. And I'm praying every day that God keeps you right there just for me. He did not know. Nurses, we never know who is looking at us. We never know the lives that we are touching by being who we are and the things that we are doing. Let me tell you, our behaviors and our attitudes can encourage others on their journey, and I challenge you to keep those behaviors in check. Be a leader no matter where you go. John Maxwell defines leadership as influence and states that we all influence someone, even when we do not know the reach of our influence. Therefore, be a leader who will bloom wherever you are planted. Thank you, Nurse Louise. Lead with confidence and humility that has a profound impact on others in a positive way. And as I leave, I want to leave you with my personal philosophical statement that says that time is endless and life is not a race to the finish line, but it is a series of meaningful steps that bring your dreams closer to your reality. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Fiona Glenville. That was so beautiful. I didn't want it to end, honestly. It was truly beautiful. Thank you very much. Yeah, so remember that there is a blank canvas, so paint your story, okay? Seek to bloom where you are planted. She mentioned transparency. Do not forget that. Be transparent. Uphold your personal values. Do not lose yourself in somebody else's life. And be mindful of day, and day cannot stop you, okay? All right. Okay, so we're going to continue with the ceremony. Thank you once again for that beautiful speech. All right, so at this time, we're going to once again invite our Dean of Academic Affairs, Professor Dr. Stanley White, to present the certificates. We're also going to have Miss Bernadette John Peter up here with us. And Miss Austri, thank you. She's positioned right there. Okay. So we're going to call the first graduate, Adegbola Michael. All right, next is Akinola Aderonke. We have next Akinrimade Rebecca. Alexander Chadrier. Banis Beyonce. Okay. Beyonce Banis. Okay. All right, so we'll go to the next person. Bruza Rosabeth. Birthing Tabita. Davani Darling. Ekari Constance. Emedian Sami. Eretigan Ayabatoya Miracle. Ezenwa Stephanie. Okay. All right, so the next we have on the list is Judge Francis Vanel. John Baptist Kaya. Joseph Anthea. Myla Precious. Nakeye Stanislaus. Obata Clarita. Ofotoko Elizabeth. Okoro Victor. Onyike Teresa. Philogene Myra. Pierre Louis Malika. Raphael Naika. Raina Shania. Vigilant Kalita. Warrington Malika. And finally, Wilkins Dorian.
Do you want to say this? Do you want to say this part? On behalf of the Department of Nursing, present to these candidates. Yes. Yes. Oh.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. White.
Okay. I'm not sure. Yes.
Okay. Dr. Yusuf, President, on behalf of the Nursing Department, it's an honor to present you these candidates who have successfully read for the Bachelor of Science degree in nursing.
So, on behalf of Dr. Yusuf and the rest of the All Saints academic community, I welcome you to the community of alumni of All Saints University School of Medicine. Congratulations. You are now entitled to use the credentials BSc in nursing, but only after you toss your tassel to the left.
Thank you very much. You may have your seats, please. So I say congratulations once again to all the graduates. You're embarking on a new chapter of your professional lives. Remember the immense impact you can have on the lives of others. Your presence, your words, and your touch can provide solace, hope, and healing during the most vulnerable moments. Cherish the privilege bestowed upon you to make a positive difference in the life of your patients, their families, and your communities. You were reminded by the Dean of Academic Affairs and Ms. Glenville that you are not alone on this journey. The nursing profession thrives on collaboration, teamwork, and support. Reach out to your fellow nurses, learn from their experiences, and be open to continuous growth. Remember the valuable lessons imparted to you by your mentors and instructors. Carry their wisdom with you as you navigate the challenges and the triumphs that lie ahead. Once again, congratulations. All right, at this time, we're going to be doing the presentation of awards. So we're going to have with us on stage Dr. Williams. Yes, Dr. Williams, thank you very much. The Minister of State. All right, so for the award of Outstanding Clinical Acumen, we have Stephanie Chizoba Ezenwa. Okay, so she's not present here with us today. We also have next Teresa Sunday on Kie. Next, receiving an award for Outstanding Clinical Acumen, we have Myra Serena Philogen. And the final recipient for the Outstanding Clinical Acumen is Sabita Burton. Thank you very much, Dr. Williams, for your time. Thank you. Please welcome with me now on stage our registrar, Pastor David Abiodun, for the President's Award of Excellence. So the first on the list is Teresa Sunday Okie. Again, for the President's Award of Excellence, we have Myra Serena Philogen. And finally on the list for the President's Award of Excellence, we have Vanell Judge. Thank you very much, Pastor David Abiodun. All right, please, everyone, I want you to join me to welcome on stage Myra Serena Philogen for the speech for the class. Thank you very much. The valedictorian speech. Yes, for the valedictorian speech, thank you.
Minister for Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence, Honorable Octavia Alfred. Representative of the Minister for Health, Wellness and Social Services, Honorable Dr. Cassandra Williams. Minister of State in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Social Services, with special responsibility for senior security, children at risk, Gender Affairs and the Differently Abled, President of All Saints University School of Medicine, Dr. Joshua Yusuf, Dean of Academic Affairs, Dr. Stanley White, Registrar of Administration, Mr. David Abiodun, featured speaker, Mrs. Fiona Glenville, academic and administrative staff in Canada, St. Vincent and Dominica, invited guests, graduates, members of the media, good afternoon. To God be the glory, great things he has done. I promise some people I will not cry, but sorry. Words cannot express how delighted I am to be here this afternoon, and I am certain that many in this graduating class can share that sentiment. The last 3 years had been challenging for many of us, but we persevered. We climbed every mountain and fought every stream on the way to our dream. Today, the excitement is palpable, as what we have earned is a key that can open doors wherever we are planted. On January 1st, 2020, I made the decision to embark on a new journey, to become a nurse, as I wanted a career that I loved, and not just a job. On February 19th, 2020, I got accepted into All Saints University, and my journey began on September 7th, 2020. As the only student in most of my classes, that semester, I dreaded going to class, knowing that it would be just the lecturer and I. The thought, should I take a semester off until there are other students, went through my head, but I brushed it off. I kept the end in view. Today, when I reflect on the beginning of my journey, I relish the thought that I had my own personal instructors. I settled into classes with Miss Austri, where she would sit beside me and explain every concept in detail. And at the slightest look of confusion on my face, she would say, "Yes, Myra, tell me." Then she would go over the topic at hand until I understood. Then came the hands-on aspect of the program, and it would be just Mrs. Theophile and I in the skills lab. It was there that the well-known saying, "Practice makes perfect," became a reality for me. There were times when I could not find the pulse, or my hands would shake while practicing some of the other skills. We can all attest to that, right? But Mrs. Theophile kept emphasizing the importance of practice. And practice I did until a level of mastery. And mastery was important because the final leg of the journey was under the supervision of, you know who? Clinical coordinator, Mrs. Dennis Edwards. And mediocrity was not a word in her vocabulary. Mrs. Edwards expected much of us, and we had to deliver. My solo journey, however, was short-lived as the class soon grew. And I was quite happy to finally have company to work on difficult assignments with, practice in the lab, study, laugh, and argue. And on the days when we argued, I wish that it was just me again. But what is a journey without people to share the good and the bad moments with? Classmates, graduation marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of another in our lives. We have gained knowledge and skills in a much needed profession, but knowledge and skills without the right attitude will bring little reward. Reggie et al. In the article, Florence Nightingale's Theory and Her Contribution to Holistic Critical Thinking in Nursing, reminds us that Florence Nightingale's philosophy and teachings emphasizes that the nurse must use her brain, her heart, and hands to create healing environments to care for the patient's body, mind, and spirit. Classmates, we have been called to care for the whole person. If we keep that in mind, we will make a difference. Let us be mindful that we are entering the profession during challenging times, a time when there is a global nursing shortage, an increased incidence of non-communicable diseases, an increase in older adult populations, and new emergence of diseases. It means, therefore, much will be required of us. It means that this cannot be the end of our journey, as we will need to keep retooling ourselves to best serve those in our care and to seek to make a difference in their lives. Finally, I would like to express my gratitude to my support team without whom this day would not be possible. My father, Edward Philogen, for his support even when things were tough. My mom, Barbara Augustine, who thousands of miles away, always reminded me that I could do it. My aunt Irma and her husband, and Miss Gloria Augustus, for their invaluable support. My grandmother, Joan Douglas, who would listen to me go on about nursing school and would emphasize that I needed to have confidence in myself and that God would see me through. My aunt, Sharon Philogen, who would proofread assignments before submission and ensure that I had everything needed to be successful. My dearest friend, Nadine Christopher Paul, who knew nothing about nursing school, but would read my assignments and constantly tell me on the days that I doubted myself, "Girl, you must pass." The two lecturers who took me under their wings and always looked out for me, Mrs. Theophile and Miss Austri, words cannot express my gratitude to you. I also wish to thank Mrs. Dennis Edwards for never lowering the bar, but rather demanding that we rise to it. Academic and administrative staff in Canada and the Dominica, all the lecturers we encountered along the journey, and the nurses at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital and the community health centers, and who gave up their time and expertise to help us hone our craft, thank you. Graduating class of 2023, our lamp has been lit. It is up to us to keep it burning.
Thank you very much, Miss Myra Philogen, for that. At this time, we're going to invite the graduating class on stage, and please, audience, do not be alarmed. We're going to turn off the light very soon, okay? Thank you. Please come on stage. Okay. So you have to. Also, you have to pick up your candlelights, please. Thank you. Okay. You may have your seats, please. Thank you. All right, we're almost at the very end of today. So at this time, I want you all to join me to welcome on stage Eretige Ntoye Miracle for the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Thank you for the introduction. When I was asked to give the vote of thanks, I said, this is an irony, because I do have a lot of things to be thankful for. Without wasting any time, my journey at All Saints started 8 years ago as a medical student, and I'm grateful that this school has been a home for me to switch, and even when life threw me around, Myra, you started crying, now I have to. Even when life threw me around, All Saints was there to pick me up and give me a degree. And so, yeah, without wasting any time, good day to our founder and president, Dr. Joshua Yusuf, the deans, head of departments, faculty, staff, parents, guardians, invited guests, and definitely my fellow graduates. I'm truly honored to stand here to deliver the vote of thanks for this ceremony today. Today is a day of revelation. I'm truly honored. Yes, the revealing of our hard work to the world. A big congratulations to my fellow graduates for this momentous achievement. Our handwork is evident today. Our time here has not been a walk in the park. We have faced many challenges, obstacles, which we have had to overcome. I cannot begin to imagine the number of family members and friends that are super grateful that we don't have assignments for them to read anymore. As you all know, this is the part where I start thanking everyone for being here. So please stay awake and don't get bored. Because there are different people that contribute to the different pieces to the puzzle that is All Saints University. It is often said that gratitude is the attitude that takes you to your altitude. And so on behalf of the graduates and the committee responsible for putting this occasion together, which I am part of, we want to say thank you. Allow me to begin by thanking the Almighty God for guidance, for strength, for protection during the course of the nursing program, and for making today's event a resounding success. With his blessings and grace, we are able to make this event what it is. Our guest of honor, Miss Fiona Glenville, she taught me community. And thank you for accepting and visiting us and gracing us with your presence. Thank you for your very insightful speech. Distinguished guest, Ministry of Health, represented by the Minister of State, Minister Cassandra Williams. Principal Nursing Officer, Ms. Anthea Lewis, representative from the General Nursing Council, Ms. Shirley Augustine, Dr. Ruby Blank, represented by Dr. Carl Monroe, representative from the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, also representing the matron, that is Ms. Deborah Phillip, and also the senior community nurse, Ms. Magdalene Poppain Alexander, who spared their time from their very busy schedules to grace the occasion. Thank you for honoring our invitations. We extend our gratitude to those who have supported us practically behind the scenes, from the board of directors to the academic management, the deans, especially Dr. Stanley White, who we have here on campus. We also have Dr. Olga Puzirenko, that served as the director of nursing for 2 semesters. Faculty, members of the faculty, lecturing staff, particularly Ms. Denise Edwards from the day I started. That's always there. She's always selling us some organic vegetables and and provision. And she makes sure we eat, even on the shift. And she's like, you have to eat, have strength to study for your degree. Well, Miss Bernadette Ostry, who will always say, ladies and gentlemen, romance the material. Mrs. Odette Theophile that will always remind us, ladies, read, 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 practice, practice, practice. They taught us the practical skills we needed in the clinical area. Miss Aliyah Shillingford research class was one that brought so many assignments and tests and tears, but it was one we hold dear to our hearts. Miss Sister Hamilton that gave us a cookout at the end of the semester. Dr. Kolade and the Adedoyins also left lasting impacts on us. And not forgetting the librarians, the IT department, and all supporting staff, especially the Secretary for Nursing Department, Miss Melissa Alexandra, for always picking up our calls, answering our many questions. Special mention also goes to the graduating planning committee from the registrar and the rest of us that were in part of the committee. Thank you for making our vision a reality. Our ever supportive family and friends, thank you. Home and abroad, those watching online, we appreciate you. We are forever thankful for the love, the kind words, the warm hugs, the never-ending support, the proofreading of all our many, many, many assignments. Thank you. Thank you for also attending this ceremony. Finally, I would like to appreciate this moment. It's been such a great honor. We were not held by the hand. We were not pampered, but we endured. Here together, we endured, and now we have emerged. We have emerged better read and more passionate than where we started from or where we began. We've emerged as persons we were meant to be. We've emerged whole and complete, undoubtedly by the grace of God. I am excited to start this new phase. I'm sure you guys are too. I'm excited to start this demanding, loving, caring. Words fail me to describe this career. Congratulations to us. We made it, y'all. Thank you, everyone.
And while Ms. Tonya has thanked everybody, I would also like to say thank you to you. All right, at this time, we ask that everyone remain seated while the academic recession takes place. Thank you. Okay, so just before the recession, we're going to be doing the presentation of bouquets to our guests. And this is coordinated by Mrs. Alexander. Yes, please. All right, so first we're going to present to Dr. Cassandra Williams. Thank you very much for your time, Next, we have the presentation to Mrs. Fiona Glenville. And the final presentation to Mrs. Janet Abiodun. Thank you very much. All right, so at this time, please do let us remain seated while the academic recession takes place. Thank you.
go bounce with your boo. I can vouch for my group. I'm telling you, and to they do lifestyle of a group. Make you dance, no they look, and go they look, and go they look. And say if it's not enough, if I do 99 good, it go remain one. Don't know how to show you my love without, but I can buy you a new baby. If I made you laugh, baby, travailler, make you know they shall I don't want nobody to keep my matter like for this life I day, I want to be celebrated. Don't wanna waste my days, I want to spend them on enjoyment. I spend you.
In your face, seems the door keeps slamming. Now you're feeling more and more frustrated, and you're getting all kind of impatient. Waiting, we live and we learn to take one step at a time. There's no need to rush. It's like learning to fly or falling in love. It's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen, and we find the reasons why. One step at a time. You believe and you doubt. You're confused and got it all figured out. Everything that you always wished for could be yours, should be yours, would be yours if they only knew. You wanna show the world but no one knows your name yet. You wonder when and where and how you're gonna make it. You know you can if you get the chance. In your face if the door keeps slamming. Now you're feeling more and more frustrated, and you're getting all kind of impatient. Waiting, we live and we learn to take one step at a time. There's no need to rush. It's like learning to fly or falling in love. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Supposed to happen, and we find the reasons why. One step at a time. When you can't wait any longer, but there's no end in time. When you need to find the strength, it's your faith that makes you stronger. The only way we get there is one step at a time. Take one step at a time. There's no need to rush. It's like learning to fly or falling in love. It's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen, and we find the reasons why. One step at a time. There's no need to rush. It's like learning to fly or falling in love. It's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen, and we find the reasons why. One step at a time.
Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your
C'est pas gentil nous cap pas les bars. 40 ans on l'était tout ou pas les sorties. La caille maman. C'est là où ouais où c'est les rétés. C'est là où ouais où c'est les morts. tout ça on fait du nous, aucun fonctionner. Belle chambre climatisée, l'auto bien élastiquée. Fait femme souffrir, c'est travail ou mon cher.